Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fusing Shop Patreon page. Thank you so much for signing up and being a member and supporting my kids and myself and the Fusing Shop. In this video, we're going to be making a really cool flower implosion marble or pendant, depending on what you want to make with it. And right now, I'm starting with a 20 millimeter rod on my rollers. This is a great tool to have because it saves you just so much shoulder pressure and exhaustion, because you just put on that roller and just let your fingertips do the walking and just roll it around, and there's it's so nice not to have the weight of that heavy glass being held by your hand. So yeah, I highly recommend, if you don't have rollers, to get some rollers because they are just awesome. And yeah, you get really good use out of them. It's the closest thing to having a lathe with actually having a lathe, which is thousands of dollars. These, I forgot how much they were. They were a couple $100, but again, highly worth it. So just spinning that glass, as you saw in the beginning, I took off the rough end, and now I'm just centering it up and evening out the glass. And what we're going to be doing first is going in and shaping our. So we're just going to rotate, get that end nice and juicy hot. You want the glass to be quite liquid when you do this. And even, of course. So make sure you keep your glass even and centered, because when you go to make the Maria, you want that glass to stay on center and not flop all over the place or to be to one side. And just, I did not push that glass down. I just let gravity pull it down. And you see I got a nice flat end and a nice amount of working surface to draw on. Because pretty much what we're going to be doing now is I have a stringer that I pulled before I started this. And I'm going to be drawing kind of like C's on the glass. And that's what makes the petals in this implosion, is when you make these little C's and then you go around the C's and make more lines, and it makes it kind of like a rose, as you saw in the thumbnail, and I'll show at the end too. So just take your stringer, get a nice pinpoint flame, because when you use a stringer it melts very quickly. And you see I just put a little C down on there, and make sure you tack weld it so it doesn't pop off. And now I'm just going to make an opposing C on the other side. And just a heads up, I do wind up not liking the location of these, which is fine. And everything can be fixed, and just knock them off, because they were cold seals anyway. So just take something and knock them off, and you could start over again. And it's the same thing with any part. You can see there's a little bit of residue on the end. I'll just go in there, quickly flame polish that off, and we're going to start over. But anytime you have an implosion like this, all your seals are cold seals until you start melting them in and down. So just something to take note of. And you can crack the glass, of course. So anytime the glass is not happy, you have the risk of, things popping off or cracking. So make sure you keep that glass nice and hot and happy as you're dropping these lines down. I'm just using the end of my stringer to press them down. You could use graphite or sculpting tool, whatever you have at the ready. And I'm just going to go kind of like around those two middle C's that I started with, and kind of fill in the pattern. You do not want the lines to touch. That's an important part of doing this. Right now I'm just melting it down so those don't pop off, and I'm permanently setting them in place right now. So yeah, you don't want the lines to pop off mid-project. So go ahead, just take a couple seconds, put some heat in there, let them start to melt in and implode just a little bit. And they'll also pop up more in the glass than the rest of the petals that you're going to lay down, which looks really cool, because the middle pops up and the edges kind of flare out to the sides, which is awesome. And I did burn myself there. This is flame working, folks, so you do get burnt. Just be careful. Try to be aware of what you're doing. The glass did transfer heat when I did touch it down with the end of that stringer. And I was holding it too far back, and it gave me a little bit of a burn there. which is fine. It happens. So, yeah, just going, I'm sorry, my hand's in the way here, but just going around the middle pattern and just filling in the rest of those petals. Take your time. Again, you don't want the lines to touch, because if the lines touch, then you're not going to get the effect you're looking for. You want everything to stay separate. This way it looks like layers of petals as opposed to like a blob. If you have the lines touching, it'll be a blob. Right now I'm just separating. I did have 2 lines that were close, so just moving that a little bit over with the tweezers. Again, everything can be fixed, so don't be too upset if your line does not go down where you want. And there we go. That's what it's looking like so far. It's not much to look at right now, but once we start imploding this and getting that pattern to move in, it's going to come out really nice. Right now I'm going with I wouldn't even call this elbows down position. This is just kind of like keeping the glass as close to vertical as I can with still maintaining control of it. Since I have a really long rod, just resting it on my fingers and just using my other hand to rotate. So this way I keep it in the flame, and that glass will start to, gravity will pull it down, and it'll start to pull that pattern in towards the center and into the middle of the glass, which is pretty amazing. So just keep rotating. There's going to be a lot of rotating, just giving you a quick heads up now to be ready for that. This is just the beginning of the rotating, because when you do an implosion, depending on how much you want to implode it, will depend how much time you spend doing this part of the process. So if you want a really deep implosion, then you're going to do this for even a couple more times. And the what I'm doing right now is I'm just letting the outer rim of that Maria touch the flame, and it starts to pull the glass down. And when the glass pulls down too much, I flatten it again on the marver. And that's pushing the pattern up into the middle of the glass. And you're going to do that over and over and over. You can see, like in that shot right there, that the petals have moved towards the middle. So now I'm just going to add one other one around the edge, just to even things out a little bit. Just take your stringer, get a little heat in there, and just lay it down on your Maria. And again, it's your preference on how many petals you want to make. You can make as many as you want, depending on how big your Maria is and how thin that you pull your stringers. Alright, I like to leave my stringers, I think mine are about 2 millimeters or so. I come a little bit on the thicker side, because, this way it doesn't snap and break off too easy as you're working with it. And back to your elbows down position, melting in and pressing down on the graphite. So lots of rotating, lots of flattening on the graphite. And while I'm doing that, let's do the dad joke for this video. And the question is, where do typists go to get a drink? And they go to the space bar. Space bar. Good place on the keyboard, that space bar. That one is just ultra corny. I just have to say that one is, oh my gosh. All right, so back to the glass. So I'm still doing the same thing on rotating and flattening. And the rollers make this nice and easy. This way it saves me having to have my hand in an awkward position. And you can see in this shot how much the glass has moved towards the center already. So it's pretty cool to watch. And just rotate, rotate, rotate. And at this point, I would not be offended if you skipped to the end. I do have a picture of the final marble at the end of the video. there's not many other steps involved here as far as any kind of techniques or anything. Here I'm just using again that graphite paddle to flatten the end, and graphite can go in the flame. I don't recommend doing it for long. If your graphite is getting red, then that is not a good sign. You can actually wind up ruining your graphite. So if you are going to use it in the flame like I'm doing here, only do it briefly, and it will take on heat, so be careful, because it doesn't look hot, but it will still absorb some of that heat, and you can get burnt. So something to be aware about, that graphite does absorb some of the heat from the glass and can burn you. So even though that paddle does not look hot sitting on the table there, it still has some heat in it, so you got to be careful. What other kind of safety tips can we talk about in this video? Again, using that paddle, a little bit in the flame, and just keep rotating that glass on center. When you do implosions, you want to keep your design as on center as possible. This way it implodes evenly and you don't get a wonky looking flower. You want your flower to have nice, even petals and an even shape, especially when you look through the lens. You don't want it to be off to a side. And you could add stems in this. Some people add leaves. Some people get very intricate with their flower implosions. So that's really up to you on where you want to take it. So again, going back into the flame, doing our elbows up position, and letting that glass just hang down and pull into the center. Checking out how it's going. Back to the rollers. And at this point, I'm pretty happy with how much the glass has imploded. Sometimes when you do this implosion, the glass will start to kind of like make like a donut around the edge. Then that comes from like not letting it implode a little bit too much. So right now, mine imploded a little bit too much where I couldn't flatten it on the marver. So I'm just going to add a little bit of clear into the little divot that was there. Just adding a little bit of clear, and also I want to build up that end. Sometimes people will pull this out to make the petals like pull out towards the back end of the marble. Again, that's your preference if you want to do it that way. It looks pretty awesome. I did not do it for this video. In this one, I just filled in that little void with some clear, and that works just fine too. Now I'm going to start rounding this off and start to shape the marble. So if you saw my beginner's marble video, you already know how to do this. It's not very complicated, although making the marble round is, again, the hardest part, as I said in like all my other videos. So making that round marble does take practice and does take time. But just keep practicing, and if you could see when it's in the mold where it's holding, and if you have unevenness or anything. So look at your edges of your marble mold as you're rotating it in the mold, and you could see if the marble is coming out round or not, just by taking the time and looking at it as you rotate it in the mold. Right now I'm getting ready to punty up, so I'm going to be making a cold sealed punty. You can do a hot seal here if you want. It's really, again, depending on how much more shaping you're going to be doing. But I'm going to be using a cold seal because I want to pop it off later. And using, again, the rollers makes it so easy to get this on center, because you have one hand that's just not moving or bouncing around. So it makes it much easier to put on your handle and to rotate it right on center. So it's just such a fun tool to use. But if you do like to use shorter blow tubes, you do need like a minimum of like a 7-inch. No. It's longer than that. I have to find out. But you do need a minimum size to put across those rollers. It's not like you could just put any old piece of glass on there, because it has to extend to fit on both rollers at the same time. So I have like a giant rod here that I'm using to work with for this. So there is a downside to using it. I'd like to use like shorter blow tubes, like a little bit longer than my, maybe like 7 inches or so. But this one requires you to use like almost double that, like 10 inches or 12 inches or something like that. So yeah, but still, it's just a fun tool to have and to use. Save you all that shoulder stress, shoulder and neck, shoulder and neck tension. So all right, so now I just did a flame cut, and to do the flame cut, we just put a ton of heat into the glass, and just keep rotating. And we got to rotate with both hands now because we got the punty attached. And gently pull your hands apart, and you'll flame cut. Depending on how big you want to make your lens will determine how much glass you leave on the end. I left a pretty decent size chunk on the end, and now I'm just using my elbows down and neutral position to round it off and make it gather up. So here, just going into the mold. Again, you want to wait a couple seconds before you go into the mold. And then just roll it in the mold and rotate that mold or your hand so you get all sides of the glass. And this is again what I was saying before, when you're at this point, just watch the edges of the glass as it goes around the mold, and you could see sometimes you'll see like little divots or bumps or imperfections as you're doing this. And that is a great sign that your marble is not round yet, and you should keep heating and rounding. Here we get into a pretty good place. Everything's looking nice. And we're just gonna, again, continue to work that in the flame, fire polish off any tool marks when you're done with your final shaping, and pop that in the kiln to anneal. I'm gonna be holding it up to the camera in a couple seconds, so just bear with me. And then I have a photo at the end, so you can see how cool this came out. Again, these do take time, so don't rush yourself. I recommend starting with at least a 15 millimeter rod, because it is, especially if you don't have practice drawing on a Maria, it's going to get very frustrating for you. So bigger Maria is easier to start with, and sometimes a thicker stringer too. It really depends on how much control you have over the glass and how much experience you have drawing the lines. It's still pretty hot here, so you can't really see that blue. I use Black Lightning for here. Here's the final picture. Came out amazing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.